So let's move on to the next topic. MK Ultra is something that you've been talking about. So MK Ultra is a mind control program invented by the CIA to basically control people. And as I know, you are a victim of this program, right?
Yes.
Can you tell us how you were being controlled? How did it start? How does it work?
That started when I was very little. People would do a lot of things to raise my heart rate. I was put on a heart monitor by the time I was seven or eight. I was on a heart monitor. I was taken to a hospital. Someone put something on me and ran tests. I'm talking about those little sticky things. Something on my head that was connected to a system. There has been times where, from being buried alive to the hot and cold water situation to being shocked with cattle prods. Trauma-based mind control, it happens in many different ways. And when, like I said before, when I was taken to therapy or when my mom tried to take me to psychologists, they wanted to send me out of state to experiment on me some more. And I don't agree. So I never did therapy. I never did that because someone was always looking to run experiments again, and I don't agree with that. And it was very painful the first time, so I don't agree with that now. But there's mind control programming that is, they name it from alpha, delta, beta, the kittens, many different types of programming.
Okay, so when you said you went to a psychiatrist and they know about this, they didn't say that you were lying. They just want to run experiment on you. So they know about this.
And some people are not trained in the field of psychology to deal with that. So there are certain places that only deal with MK Ultra programming and that only deal with dissociative identity disorder caused by trauma-based mind control. And because of that, they're out of state or they're in different states and they require a lock-in facility. They require you to sign your life away to them for them to do deprogramming. And I'm not doing that.
What do you mean by sign your life away?
You sign all rights over to the facility. So they can do whatever they want to do to you to deprogram you. But my thing is if you know how to deprogram someone, then you know how to program someone. So that doesn't sit well with me. And I don't want more issues. I'm already broken. I already have enough issues. I don't want more.
So basically you are their property. And
yes.
Is this kind of contract constitutional? It should be illegal, right? I know, like, legal problem is probably not the priority we're talking about, but I'm just surprised that this thing exists.
Yeah. And I mean, again, psychiatrists know about it, but some don't know how to handle it. All they know to do and all they've been told to do is call on these separate facilities to send people to.
Okay. So how this thing works is they torture you, and when your mind can't handle it, they start to split and you have multiple personalities. What's the purpose of giving you more personalities than you already have? Are you still you, or is it a different person that I'm talking to?
Still me. Every alter is different. Every alter.
When you say alter, it means a different person inside of you, right?
Right. Every split. When you're tortured to the point where your body can't take it, your mind splits off. And that pain has to go somewhere, because if you think about a baby, a child, a 5-6-year-old child being raped, their bodies can't take that much pain and that much torture. So their mind splits off, and they're basically, it's the perfect slave. They're all controlled slaves. Everybody has a different job. Everybody has a different task to do. Everybody has a different situation in a piece that they take on. And I mean that it goes down to different body temperatures, different allergies, different fingerprints, different eye colors, different body shapes, different styles, different likes and dislikes. But this is all in one person. So that way it creates the perfect slave. If you wanted someone to have sex with, they're an adult, but they're still a child there, because when your mind splits, it stops you at that age that you split. I hope that makes sense.
Yes. When you are tortured at 8 and your personality is always 8. And when you grow older, you split another personality, and that personality is going to be older than the previous one.
Exactly.
All right.
Exactly.
When you say they program you to do specific jobs, Like I heard that you can turn people into assassins and they can have superpowers. Is that real? When you're an assassin, does that mean you just are able to kill people and cope with it psychologically, or does that mean you automatically gain some assassin skills, like you know how to slit throat, you know how to do certain things? Like what exactly
Both.
does it mean? Both. So you automatically become a genius
Both of
at
that. Both.
assassinating people.
You have these different abilities to do different things that usually 2 seconds ago you couldn't do. Those are called super soldiers. That is called that's with Delta programming, where 1 minute somebody seems as sweet as day, and then the next minute they're responsible for maybe the Mandalay Bay shooting in Las Vegas, the Columbine shooting in schools. When you see your school shooters, or when you see things like that happen, and you'll see somebody say, "I didn't do it," and you know they did it, that's what they mean. That's what that means.
Oh.
It gives the different abilities to be able to say, this person has this job, and the next thing you know, the next person that comes up, that's not their job. So they have no idea, they forget, they have no memory of what just happened.
Okay, so that makes a lot of sense. So they're not just crazy, and
They're not crazy.
okay, you're saying there's a way to just download knowledge and skills into human brains, and you don't have to learn it. You don't have to work for it.
Trauma-based mind control, yes, it's like exactly how you just said it. It's like downloading information to the brain and storing it away, so that way there may be someone who's very childlike that comes up and you feel like you're talking to a baby, but then there's somebody who comes up and there's a completely different person. There's a completely different style. There's a completely different voice. There's a completely different job that they hold, but they've been set back for a second until it's their time to come forward.
But what kind of interface do they use to connect your brain with the machine that they have the knowledge of? Do you know what I mean? Like, how do they put stuff in your head physically?
It depends on what they're trying to achieve. So by computer systems, by hooking you up to some type of system, whether that is with things that they put on your body, things that they put on your head, putting an IV and putting things through your system, it depends.
For example, maybe something like a giant metal helmet, and they put on top of your head and things like that. All right.
Yes.
So that means anyone could become anything. They could become athletes. They can become singers, actors. They can become politicians.
Exactly.
Oh,
I
so-
like you. Exactly.
Thanks.
They can have these talents that you're like, where did that just go? They can be singers, they can be artists, they can be basketball players, they can be pro fishing. And some people are like, well, I like different things. I like to do, one day I like to fish, and one day, I don't like to fish. I just, that is a thing too. But then creating the perfect slave, and so they're able to do things that you would never think that they can do. Put that altar away.
So in a sense, a lot of them are just kind of actors. They're created like characters in games. They're not even real, if you think about it. I see. Wow.
They're real. There are altars that have different fingerprints, different blood types, different allergies, different eye
Allergies.
colors, different features, different body shapes. Yes, allergies.
So they're able to control
So-
your mind, where your body will react differently based on what personality you have. That
So say for it, somebody comes up and you have this person, and if one comes up and is allergic to peaches, then when that person eats a peach and they're up and forward for a second, the body will break out in hives. But if that altar goes away and somebody else picks up a peach and eats it, they're not going to break out in hives. If you're sick, you have taken a body temperature, and one altar has a fever, you can turn around and take that temperature again in the same few seconds. And if somebody else switches, they don't have a fever.
that shows the power of the mind. Basically, it means if we
It's a powerful, the mind is a powerful thing.
it means we don't need hospitals and medicine anymore. If we do things right with our mind, we can cure diseases by just thinking.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
It's
fascinating.
well,
But you have to be tortured first.
there's a torture base. It's been weaponized. It's been weaponized in a way where it's used to somebody else's benefit. And, a lot of people are going to go off of, well, the movie Split is true. One of them is not going to turn into a beast and eat you necessarily. They're all different. And because of trauma-based mind control, it's been weaponized to use it against someone. That makes sense.
Okay. Yeah, it makes sense. But one thing I don't understand is, like, I understand why they're controlling, like, actresses, actors, but why do they mind control athletes? I know some athletes are controlled, right? Because I've seen weird footages online with McGregor, the UFC fighter. He was obviously not himself.
Connor said and that's why he sees you the way he sees you.
Ele falou que tempo atrás o Conor falou que você desrespeitou ele e por isso que ele vê você.
Não vejo onde isso. Acho que nunca desrespeitei ninguém.
Never disrespected anyone, so I'm not sure what it is.
So what is it that he did that disrespected you? Okay.
You're bad.
Okay.
You're bad.
But we're not about to fight, so can I shake your hand?
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
But why would they control him? He's not in the judicial system, politician system. So why would somebody or anybody be controlled that are not in power?
Victims have what's called a handler, and their handlers have a designated job and purpose for their alters. So in sports, some of the designated handlers have a duty for the numbers. So let's say they will use this athlete for the brand. They will use this athlete for the numbers, to become an MVP or to become someone who sits at the top ranks the top on their team. So you see the players on the floor, or you see the players within whatever sport it may be, and you look at the ones that have been benched or set back and you wonder what's wrong with them. Why aren't they front and center? Why aren't their faces on every single thing that we see like the other player? Or why are they never in that spotlight? Their handlers have a designated purpose for that athlete.
So they all serve their purpose and they all have different roles to play. Okay. And like you said, there are ways to deprogram it, but in order to deprogram it, you have to sell yourself basically to the government or whoever it is.
You have to give yourself away, and you have to basically sell your soul to this deprogrammer and put all of your trust in this person that they're going to make you better, or they're going to do something that almost pushes back or band-aids the programming. And that's not always the case.
So you're still under this program's control. Okay.
Yes.
All right.
And again, being mind controlled, being a victim of MK Ultra, this is not something that you could just walk away from or is an easy fix. I'm not fixed. Some people want to say, well, integration with DID, and that's going to fix everything. And if you think about it, that's like taking a person, another person, and smashing them together, and thinking that that's just going to work. That's not going to work.
Okay.
Anything. If you have been through an experience of MK Ultra, it's not just something that you're just going to get automatically better from. It doesn't work like that. And it's the same thing as secret societies. Once you're in, you're never out. When you're programmed, you have to deal with that. You have to still go through that programming. It's never just something that just up and goes away. Like Britney Spears, the things that happen with her, the mind control programming, it's not just something that just goes away.
Okay. So Britney Spears, it looked like that at some time last year that she was trying to disclose something. Do you have any idea about it?
Yes. Her conservatorship, her MK Ultra broke. Her programming broke for a second, enough for her to speak out. If you look at Britney, I want you to go back and look at the real Britney. Look at Britney. Does Britney, the Britney that you know, have two gaps in her teeth, the bottom and the top? Old Britney. Hit me, baby, one more time, Britney. Go back and look at Britney, and then look at Britney now. Things happen, and you can't just You can't just tell someone that those things happen. I use TV analogies because I feel like it's easier for people to look at these things and then apply them to real life because, again, art is a reflection of life. So if you looked at Black Mirror and the episode with Miley Cyrus, that is exactly what is going on with Britney Spears. Exactly what is going on with Britney Spears.
Okay. I remember they put her in a vegetable kind of state and salvage songs from her mind.
Please, I'm begging you, please don't do this to me, please. Fuck! Help me!
That's all real.
Michael Jackson.
Oh my God.
Think of his This Is It tour when he did the Slave to the Rhythm. Look up the BET Award performance when he did Slave to the Rhythm. And everybody was so upset because Michael Jackson was dead at the time of this performance. But the performance seemed so real that it really insulted a lot of people. And there was a lot of lashing. People lashed out about it because they were like, this is not okay. I feel like I just witnessed him on this stage. This is what's happening.
Oh, yeah. Some people think he's still alive, but I don't know. Okay, that's a lot of information. Thanks.